Hello, and welcome back to Saffron Honey Chai. Now, in relationships, communication is definitely one of the most important things. You have to have good communication because it doesn't matter how handsome they are, how gorgeous they are, how in love you are, or even how much you like each other as buddies. If you can't communicate well, you will always have problems. Ask me how I know. I have a joke in in one of my friendships. Oh, how many communications degrees does it take to have a conversation? And the answer it fluctuates between 2 and 5. But what brought this on for me was on my birthday a couple weeks back. My friend texted me in the morning and she was like, "Oh my god!" Well, she didn't text me. She called me. I missed the call. I called her back. I was like, "Hey, baby, what's up?" She texted me slash called me the day after. She was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I I forgot your birthday." Mind you, mind you, this girl could not have less forgotten the birthday if she had been actually there on the birthday. Let me paint a picture for you of how little she forgot the birthday. She took me out for the birthday, before the birthday, because she knew she couldn't do it on the actual birthday. She got me a beautiful gift for the birthday because she knew she couldn't see me on the birthday. She wrote me a beautiful card with a gorgeous letter in the card. And then she wrote another secret, smaller note in Chinese because she knows I study Chinese for fun in the card. Huh? And she wished me a happy birthday verbally the day before because we saw each other at work. So these are 5 big intentional things she did to make sure she celebrated my birthday. So when she called me the next day and was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot your birthday." I was like, "Huh? What do you mean?" Because to me, that didn't really matter. Because we made sure we celebrated my birthday. We made sure we took care of it because I knew I loved her so bad. I want her to be there. I want her to be there in whatever capacity she could be there. And then she agreed. She did what she could. So then when the actual day was there, I had made sure my day was full. Oh my, so booked and busy that week, I didn't really have time to sleep. My smartwatch was telling me, "Hey girl, have you heard of sleep? Would you like to give her a try?" Maybe. I mean, what's in it for me? I had to have been averaging like 4 hours of sleep that week. At that, each night. And so when she texted me, I was like, no. And then we had a conversation. We talked about it because she was just sorry that she wasn't actually there on the day. Like she didn't show up for me on the day. And the only thing that I had been like looking for, waiting for is like she does these gorgeous collages for people's birthdays. And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see what my collages. I can't wait to see what my songs are." Oh my God. And she did eat down when she was able to post it. But ultimately, because we have such a good relationship and we talk all the time, we know exactly what we need to do in order to take care of each other. I wasn't worried at all. Now, there are other relationships where, okay, if you don't wish me a happy birthday on my birthday, it's a big effing problem. You're cooked. We're done if you don't wish me a happy birthday on my birthday. But because of how we are and how we communicate and how we manage everything, that's the thing. Because weeks before my birthday, because like I typically have not had birthdays go well. This is the first like good birthday I've had in like a decade. So I made sure that everybody I wanted to spend my birthday with or my birthday week with was aware. Hey, you're the starting line. I need you locked in. Come on, make sure you're ready. And so everybody knew these are your days. This is the time slot. This is what we'll be doing. Here's how we'll participate with one another. Do you agree or not? Okay, you agree. And, the other people who I wanted to be in the starting line, because there were some people who, I have like a 12-person starting line. There were people I really wanted to be there. I really wanted them to be involved. But despite communicating weeks and weeks in advance, they were like, because I just can't do it. It's fine. If you can't do it, if you can't make it, if other things are happening around that time period, I get it. I understand. But if I try to set up with you in advance and I just don't hear anything, and we'd follow up and I still don't hear anything, I can only think, huh? Because communication is a two-way street. So if I communicate with you, I've done my part. If you communicate with me, you've done your part, as long as we're doing our little back and forth. There are all kinds of situations that can arise, that can occur. And, of course, there are situations where you want to communicate that you no longer want to communicate. That's fine with me as well. We just have to actually, have that conversation. Now, there's some people who are unreasonable. You can't really have that conversation with them. But for the most part, every relationship is only enriched by mediocre/boring to exceedingly difficult conversations. You understand me? Like, whatever conversation makes your stomach hurt to think about is the conversation that is most important to have. For my girl, the conversation that she wanted to have with me was, I'm so sorry. I know she was sick. Because it sounded like she had cried. She'd been crying when she called me. And I was like, oh, baby, it's not all that. It's not all that. But it was important for her to let me know that she valued me. And it was, in some ways, it was important for me to hear that. But it was even more important for me to reflect back to her that, hey, I felt your love this whole year and beyond. Like, on the day when you've done all this other stuff for me, that's just icing on the cake. Because that's who we are. That's where we're at. I love you down. You love me down. We do what we can for each other. We take care of each other how we can when the moments arise. But there are other relationships where, you do your best effort, but one of you speaking French and the other one is speaking English, but the subtitles are in Wingdings and the audio is off. So you just can't understand each other no matter how hard you try. Even if you bring in a third party, very difficult to manage it. And those situations are really, really sad because, most conversations, or rather relationships, can be saved by conversations, could be at least aided by conversations. A little chitter-chatter here and there. And sometimes you just have to think, well, is this a conversational relationship or is this an activity relationship? There are plenty of people who I've just enjoyed doing activities with. Like there are some people at the gym, I only want to do the gym with them. I don't want to go nowhere else with them. I'm not interested in going out to dinner. I'm not interested in going out to lunch. I got no interest in none of that. We don't got to do none of that. We just got to do this right here, which is start pumping this iron. However, including my bestie I was crying about at some point. There's other people, it's like, I can't wait to go to your wedding and meet my husband. I'm still waiting for his Insta. I know you watch these clips. Give me his Instagram now. Oh my god. And it's okay to properly categorize. I was having a conversation with one of my best friends a few years back, and she was telling me that, oh, so and so, we've been friends for so long. I was like, you're not been friends with that girl. That girl don't like you. You don't like her. Y'all are friends. Y'all just like to hang out. Some people aren't your friend, even if you like them. Even if you like them, like, look, they're not your friend. They just somebody you like to hang out with. But when you communicate internally, that's just as important as communicating externally. You have to communicate internally. Is this person my friend? Can I rely on them? Do they value me? How much do I mean to them? Are you? Are you? Are we understanding each other? Because what you call someone in your mind helps you determine how you're going to treat them. If you call someone your friend and they obviously don't care about you, that is incorrect. I hate to say it, that's wrong. If you call someone your acquaintance and you like them and you care about them, and they like you and you care about them, that is also incorrect. You need to reassess that one. If they like you and care about you, they need an upgrade if you like them and care about them as well. At least a friend. We can discuss further later, because that could be your bestie. If you call them as a last-ditch effort and they drive an hour to help you, that is definitely like a friend, and you need to lock in on that. If you call someone your friend and then they call you and you're like, good luck, babe. When they tell you something's going on that you could help with ease, without impacting your day too much whatsoever, that person is not your friend. That person might not even be your acquaintance. Most of us would at least get on the phone with their acquaintance, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? If you won't even make a phone call for the sake of the person, that's not your friend. That's not your acquaintance. That's just somebody you know. Categorize. Categorization is very important. It helps you reduce the likelihood of running into unnecessary situations. For me personally, I've had a lot of people in my life be like, oh my God, you're the best friend I've ever had. And I'm like, damn. I know I'm doing my big one with community. I've once been called the inventor of community, but there's no way in hell I'm your best friend when I've only ever spoken to you nicely. There's no way. There's no way. And I've had to communicate with them like, hey, we are not best friends. We are just friends. However, if I have baked you a tin of cookies and sent them through USPS, we are best friends. We are locked in. You're going to be, you know, able to meet my child when they're born. You might even be the godmother or one of the godmothers. There's levels to this, and that's okay. Not everyone can be the starting line. Some people have to warm the bench. The bench is important too. The bench is still part of the community. Okay? Everybody's still part of the community because we all can show up in different ways for different people. As long as we actually like each other and actually want each other to succeed in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just, good luck. That's still valuable. Capiche, capiche, capiche? So, when we're going through our relationships, from friendship onto partner, onto whatever else exists laterally, vertically, horizontally, what have you, we have to remember that the conversations that are difficult, especially the internal conversations that are difficult, must be had. If you don't like that person anymore, you have to have that conversation with yourself. Like, okay, I don't like them. Pull out that journal, pull out that voice recorder app, pull out whatever you need to sit here and start working through that. I cannot stand this person. I don't know why I did the phone. I cannot stand this person. I hate to see them. It makes me unhappy to be in their presence. But still, we've been best friends for years. Something that happened in the past doesn't always have to continue happening. Sometimes things can take a little break or they must break up. That doesn't mean the love was fake. The love was real when it was real. And then there are other times, wow, I met this really cool person. I'm not sure how they feel about me. I really, really want to start hanging out with them more. I really want to do this and that with them. I want to, go to museums, go to the park. I want to, make crafts with them. That's worth exploring. People think, oh, you have to confess your feelings about romance, but you also have to confess your friendship feelings too. Let those people know you want to hang out with them. A lot of people, they're very scared that they're not cool. We're very nervous in this world. Oh, what does everyone think of me? Even before social media, people were always like, oh my God, everyone's thinking about me, looking at me, talking. And then, we're so quick to talk and judge like negatively. But many people that you see every day, you think, oh, they're too cool. They've never even heard a compliment. They're not really hearing compliments like that. So if you like someone, you think they're cool, you probably want to be their friend. Talk to them. Tell them, oh my God, you're so cool. I love the way you do that. I love the way you live your life. I'd like to get to know you more. Just be open and honest. Communication is important for all level of relationship. Vertically, horizontally, laterally, diagonally. However, the conversations need to have to move the relationship one way or another. Even if it's just like, hey, my favorite thing to do with you is play badminton. There's only a few seasons to play badminton, but I'm not playing badminton with anyone but you. Say that. Hold that in your heart. Be real about that. And with that, I'm happy that we are here together. I'm happy that we make time for each other every week, more or less. I'm happy that you tune in and you make a little comment here and there. I'm happy that you subscribed and been subscribed for a while. I'm happy that you subscribe and you just subscribe. I'm happy that you just happened to watch the video this long. And I thank you for that. And I wish you well. And we might not be friends. We might just have a cool little parasocial relationship. But I still hope you have a great day. Till next time.